24 Ryder Cup questions, one about each player. I'm Joseph LaMagna. That's Brendan Porath. Brendan, why don't you kick us off?
All right, we're going with Rory McIlroy, I think the headliner for all 24 players. My simple question, based on everything we've seen in recent Ryder Cups and the last one in America, will there be tears?
Especially, it's the hardest event. Winning an away Ryder Cup's the hardest thing in golf. I don't know if you've heard. I'll say yes, there will be tears. Bryson DeChambeau, what's one thing you're willing to guarantee we see from Bryson DeChambeau?
A rolled up sleeve and flex motion at some point or another. It might come off of just a putt, I don't know, or driving the first green like at Whistling Straits, but a rolled up sleeve and a flex. Let's go to Justin Thomas. Justin Thomas, firebrand of the American side. Will he be a more effective cheerleader or points earner? Is this a Dylan Brooks type pest, known more for his pestiness, or will he earn points?
More effective cheerleader. Not expecting big things from JT on the golf course. JJ Spawn. What percentage of the fans at Bethpage would know JJ Spawn if he walked past them in street clothes?
It's a golf crowd, kind of. I'll go 35%. 35%. He's pretty, to his credit, regular looking dude. I like that. Let's go Bobby McIntyre, another regular looking dude. He was shaky in Rome. I would say shaky would be generous to put it. How much, if at all, has your perspective of him changed since that Ryder Cup? Is the confidence any greater?
A lot. He almost won at Oakmont. Multiple wins on tour now at this point. Great driver of the golf ball. I think he's in the top half of Europe for the Ryder Cup. So I would say a lot since 2023. Let's go Ludwig Oberg. The Ludwig is overrated take gets tossed around quite a bit from time to time. Does any golfer have more to prove at Bethpage than Ludwig?
Ooh, more to prove? I think so, yes. Many, many, many golfers. He's too young and too green to suggest he has something to prove. I don't think that's the case. Tiger was the greatest golfer of all time, had a piddling Ryder Cup record. I don't think we ever, even at the end, said he has something to prove. Ludwig's way too green to say he has something to, or that he has the most to prove at the Ryder Cup. But still, would be good to have him show up and throw a few punches. Cameron Young, a favorite of yours. Cameron, don't call me Cam Young. Heading into the Ryder Cup. So we're almost there. How many players would you take over him out of the other 23? Presuming it's a Ryder Cup, it's match play, mix of formats in general. How many players of the other 23 would you take over Cam Young?
3. Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, and Tommy Fleetwood. That's it. Tyrrell Hatton. His language, club tosses, overall shtick on the golf course. Are you more amused by it or over it?
Over it, for sure. It doesn't offend me. Like, I'm not like clutching my pearls. I'm not upset. Like, if he wants to go do it, fine. I don't think golf is going to survive. I think it's going to fine. I just I've seen enough at this point. We've hit the oversaturation point. Oh, he did another thing. Cool. I'm over it, personally. Sepp Straka, known as the septic tank around here. Will he only play alternate shot with Shane Lowry again? That's all he's ever done. He's played in one Ryder Cup. I don't know if this was sort of an interior alignment situation, pairing him with Shane Lowry. Will he only play alternate shot with Shane Lowry? Do we see anything else for Septic in the usage rate?
Don't quote me on this. I believe they play the same golf ball, so that would lend itself to playing alternate shot. Also, though, sometimes you try to hide the weaker players. You don't play them in alternate shot. And Sepp's been a little shaky recently. I don't know 100% what's going on with him, so I'll tread lightly there. But maybe you only see him in 4 balls. I don't know what you're going to see from Sepp Straka. Let's go Sam Burns. Win or lose, how many questions are addressed to him in Team USA's press conference after the event?
I mean, I guess there could be some rules discrepancy. There could be some contra temps where he gets in another player's face or he does the leather move. But I'm going with 0. 0 questions for Son Sam Burns. 0 win, lose, or draw. Let's go to Harry English, another one that may not get a question in the post-game presser. But here's my proposition for you with Harris English. What's a scenario in which he becomes a breakout star and is on Sports Center, is on like larger mainstream, not Golf Channel, but on Sports Center or McAfee or something like that? What's a scenario in which Harris English hits that?
There are 3 possible scenarios. He wins all 5 points, he gets in a fight with somebody on the other team, or he holds the winning putt of the Ryder Cup. Anything outside of that, he will not be on Sports Center.
Okay, I didn't even think if he goes 5 points, I don't know that he makes it. But okay, let's go Harris.
Let's go Tommy Fleetwood. Are we completely done with the Tommy Fleetwood chokes narrative, or do we get to do that again on Sunday if he's, the Ryder Cup, the fate of the Ryder Cup is in his hands coming down the stretch?
I don't know about the Tommy chokes narrative. We've seen him do it at Ryder Cups, but no, we're not done with it. You don't get to win a little pitch and putt 30-man field in Atlanta with all the history that preceded it and just totally throw it in the trash bin. Has it been alleviated, mitigated? Sure, but it's not done. Let's go to Rasmus Højgaard. I would say the 24th guy, but who knows? Should he sit until Sunday singles, Rasmus Højgaard?
No, get everybody out there on the course on Friday, but he probably should not play on Saturday. Let's go Matt Fitzpatrick. 1-7 in the Ryder Cup. Is it fair to bring that stat up?
No, it's not. I was there in 2016 when the entire roster of Europe was sort of decrepit. Derek Clark was, all over the place. And he got paired with Lee Westwood, who was not a usable player. He was not a usable player. I don't think the record, I think he's had some unfortunate pairings at the wrong time. I think that record is not fair. It doesn't totally reflect him. Has he been great or good? No, but I don't think you can judge him based off that. Let's go to Russell Henley. Just a body, but obviously been great this year. Very direct, obvious, easy question. What's his value to Team USA? Like, what does he bring for people who don't really know who he is? What's going to be his value for Ryder Cup?
I think he's lethal in the alternate shot format. Puts almost every ball in play. Arguably the most underrated golfer on the planet right now. Just doesn't have a lot of speed. I think he has immense value to the American team, and the lack of speed will probably be an overblown topic. Tons of value in foursomes. Would love to see him with Scotty. Let's go Ben Griffin. How many TikToks does Ben Griffin post between Monday and Sunday of Ryder Cup week?
It's an interesting, different dynamic, right? There's no individual media going on here. You're in the bubble. All the agents aren't controlling who and when you talk. Brands aren't. It's the DP World Tour and the PGA of America kind of control everything. That said, you could still be in your hotel room and bounce around. I'll go. I don't know. I'm unfamiliar with TikTok. I'll go with 4 TikToks during the course of the time frame you mentioned, the week. Let's go to Shane Lowry, the Irishman. Couple options here. Does he cuss out fans, opponents' teams, or caddies? As you know, he went at La Cava last time. His own team staff, could be his own caddy, his own social media guy, or the media first, which he's done several times over the course of the year. So fans, opponent, member, his own team, someone, staff, or media.
You left out the biggest one, the golf course. I will say he cusses out the fans first of those 4 options, since you're not giving me the golf course. Let's go to Justin Rose. Brennan, you are Luke Donald. How many matches would you play Justin Rose in?
1 a day. 1 per day. I think he's played certainly fine, decent enough. He's just this seems so simplistic to say, literally has a knack for rolling the ball in the hole from 22 feet. Even regardless of form and regardless of what's happening. I think 1 per day, and clearly he gets it. I'm going with at least 1 per day. Colin Morikawa, is he the weakest link for the USA team? The weakest link?
Good question. I'm going to say no. I think Justin Thomas is probably going to be the weakest link for Team USA. I think he's a real problem. And Colin showed, it's close. I don't have a lot of confidence in Colin, but I have next to none in Justin Thomas coming into this event, to be completely honest. Let's go Xander Schauffele. Another potential option. Right. Is Xander closer to being one of the team's MVPs or a complete liability for Team USA?
I think liability. How can you say MVP? I did find it interesting that he and Scheffler and a Brody Miller article recently are like becoming leaders or trying to become leadership players as most recent major winners. But I think he's a liability based on everything we've seen all year, based on Caves Valley, based on having a kid lately. I mean, he was lost at Caves at the BMW last time we saw him, having a kid. I think, if you ask me to choose, I'm going to go liability. Viktor Hovland. Does Europe, we understand it's more than one team, more than one player. Does Europe need him to play well in order to win? If he's a mess and chaotic and searching and doing the Viktor thing, do they need him to play well in order to win?
Do they need him? No, but if you tell me that Viktor Hovland's going to have a bad week, Europe's chances go way down. So within the spirit of the question, yes, I think he's one of the players they really have to lean on. Is it possible to win without him? Sure, but they really need Viktor Hovland to be one of their top 4 to 5 guys. Jon Rahm. Will Jon Rahm look comfortable and like a centerpiece of Team Europe, or has he become more of an outcast?
He's comfortable being the centerpiece. Absolutely. I don't know if he's an outcast. It's just more out of sight, out of mind. It was interesting when they won in Rome. He got 0 questions. Remember that? It was all like Rory and even a little bit of Rose, and it was all these different guys. And Rahm was just sitting there. I think he was maybe been number 1 player in the world at the time. But that said, I think he's absolutely a centerpiece. He's not an outcast. Scotty Scheffler, an absolute centerpiece everywhere he goes. Given the high standard for success, everything we've seen the last 2 years, does anyone have more pressure on them to bag points? Does anyone have more pressure to bag points?
I think you can make a case for Rory McIlroy. I would say no, though. I think Scotty Scheffler probably has. If he's bad, Team USA loses. I think straight up. If Scotty Scheffler is not good at the Ryder Cup, Team USA loses. So I'll say yes. No, I'll say no. Nobody has more pressure on them than Scotty Scheffler. And
do you
then
have a point total he has to hit? Do you have a point total he has to hit? I'm double dipping on you here for the number 1 player in the world.
I think he's got to hit 3. Last name, Patrick Cantlay. Is Rory McIlroy versus Patrick Cantlay the best possible Sunday singles pairing?
I'm running through them. I think so. I think there's nothing better. I think maybe for the larger sports fan, it might be like a Justin Thomas type, like a guy who's just watching football and they don't understand the Cantlay tension there with the board stuff and the personality issues that golf fans might have. I think it's absolutely the best one. Maybe for more mainstream appeal, superstardom, you could throw Justin Thomas in there, maybe Scotty Scheffler. But for my purposes, and I'm the one that's being asked, it's Cantlay versus Rory. I'm with you completely.
There you go. 24 questions about the Ryder Cup.